All right, dude, we are live. What's up, guys? This is Dem Keys, and today we are gonna be looking into um, a TUI, a TUI library, a TUI framework in Python. So this is a TUI framework for building TUIs in Python. This specific framework is called Textual, and I have spent the better part of today just exploring Textual itself. And holy shit, dude, this is pretty amazing. Real quick, I've decided when it comes to um, my TTS, my Stream AI voice app. So initially, I had plans to make three versions. There was going to be the really simple version, and then there was going to be the multi-threaded version, and then there was going to be the distributed version. And then I had a conversation with, well, okay, no. After that, I was kind of wondering if I really should, do those extra versions or not. I still wanted to do it because it would be like a fun challenge, and also each of them would serve different purposes. I wanted to make both the multi-threaded version and the distributed version. I was wondering if I should spend time working on TUI for the multi-threaded version as well. Because for the distributed version, I'm definitely going to be working on TUI. Okay, hold on. My connection is misbehaving. Give it a second. I think we should be fine now. Okay, yeah. So the idea was that I was going to make a simple version of the app, and then I was going to make a multi-threaded version, and then I was going to make a distributed version. So I was like, okay, if the final version is anyways going to be the distributed version, why am I spending time making the multi-threaded version? And then I was like, you know what? They could both serve different purposes. So why not? Let's do it. Let's make, because I had a conversation with Gemini about this. I explained both the apps to Gemini, and I I think I decided on using the ONNX version of the Kokoro TTS model. And the great thing is that they already provide you with the code to do the export. I I read through the code yesterday. They have like an example script that you can just invoke and pass arguments into, and then you can either run inference on the model, or you can export the model, or there was one more option. I don't remember what it was for, but yeah, you can. There's already the option to export the model to ONNX. That being said, I'm I'm just going to use the ONNX version, and be it in Python or in Rust, I'm going to be using the ONNX version. I Where was I going with this? Yeah, so okay, I wasn't sure if I should work on TUI uh, for the multi-threaded version, but then I was like, you know what? I could have this as two separate programs, each serving its own purpose. And so it might be a good idea to develop TUI for both of the apps. And something that I also thought about, because yesterday I wasn't sure if I should try to write the server in Rust, like, the entire TUI and the whole splitting of the workload and all of that stuff. I wasn't entirely sure if I should write it in Rust or in Python. But then after thinking about it for a while, I was like, dude, writing the server, it's going to be fairly complex. I have to build an entire system that does a bunch of things. And I don't know if I'm comfortable enough with Rust just yet to be able to build that kind of system. I'm comfortable enough with Python and C Sharp to be able to build those kinds of systems, because I have years of experience, close to actually more than a decade's worth of experience in each of them. But with Rust, I'm still fairly new, so I don't know if it's really a good idea for me to try and build an entire complex system using Rust. And of course, there's also the fact that here I do kind of have the luxury to be able to choose a different language for each of the components, because there are separate components. The components are not they're not like dependent on each other. I don't know if I don't know if that's the right thing to say. But so you have the worker node, and you have the server. The server is going to be written in Python. The worker node, because it's going to be running the model, I decided to do it in Rust. I could do the worker node in Python as well, but I figured I would probably get a little more performance out of Rust. So, and I kind of also want to just do it in Rust. Like that's another reason why I'm doing it, because I want to do it in Rust. Give me a second. I just realized that I forgot to open up my stream manager on my phone. So let me just do that real quick. There it is. Okay, great. Give me a second. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, so I decided to work on TUI for both the multi-threaded version and the distributed version. But as I was starting to explain this whole thing to you guys just now, I got another idea. What if I try to combine um what if I try to combine both the apps into one? Like what if I try to combine the multi-threaded version and the distributed version into one? Since we now have TUI, I could combine both of them into one, and then people can start up the app and choose how they want to proceed, you know? So like in the back end, there's going to be all of the complex operation going on. Yeah, dude. I kind of like that idea. Well, okay. Anyways, so I'm going to be working on the. Actually, I might do this at some point later. Um, I'm going to first work on the multi-threaded version of the app. Then I'm going to work on the distributed version of the app, and then I'm going to work on joining the two, if need be. I'm still not entirely sure if I'm going to do that or not, but if need be, I'm going to work on a multi-threaded version of the app. There's going to be, did I say multi-threaded? No, I'm going to, if need be, then I'm going to work on joining the two of them together. Because joining the two of them, it's mainly going to be about like, bringing two systems under one program, and then allowing the user to choose which system gets used. Of course, there's going to be initial states and stuff that need to be set. So all of that has to be taken care of. Um, okay, this is kind of new, and this does very much seem like a bot message, if I'm being honest. But anyways, hey Alex Andrew. Uh, Alex said, "Your stream totally made my day. Can't wait to come back with friends and share some tips at viewers' perspective. Please add me on Discord." So yeah, this very much seems like a bot message. So what I'm gonna do is, um, yeah, I'm good. Okay, so what was I saying? I could be wrong about that. because this is the first time that this kind of a message has popped in. Usually it's just some bot dropping a message saying, viewers at so and so, best viewers at so and so, and then they'll try to drop a link, but they'll put a space somewhere in between so that it doesn't appear as a link and it doesn't trigger any systems. It does still trigger a lot of systems, and the messages still get caught, but like they do it anyways. This this is kind of new. Um, but yeah, considering it's coming from an account that's a day old, I don't know. Seems kind of sus. Okay, that being said, back to what I was saying. So I'm gonna work on TUI for both the multi-threaded version and the distributed version, and there's also gonna be TUI for so like okay, there's gonna be TUI for the server of both the multi-threaded version and the distributed version, but there's also gonna be TUI for the worker nodes, because in the distributed version we're going to have worker nodes. I'm still not sure what to call them. The best thing I can come up with is worker nodes, because that's exactly what they are. They are worker nodes on a machine on the network. They're worker nodes that are going to be running on multiple actually machines on the network, and the idea is that if you are running a distributed thing, what you need to do is configure the server and the nodes to be able to connect to each other. You're going to have to give them the address that they have to connect to, and also the port that they have to connect to. You should be able to configure that. I'm either going to provide TUI for that, or I'm going to allow the user to edit a YAML file, because recently I've been learning about YAML as well, and I feel like I'm going to be using it uh, quite a bit in AI and ML stuff. I had the choice between YAML and TOML. I decided to go with YAML for now. I'm going to explore YAML, and at some point later, I can also explore TOML. That's not an issue. But yeah, I can either give the user the option. I mean, I keep saying user as if multiple people are going to be using it. It's mainly going to be me using it, but yeah, user just from general point of view. Um, I could allow the user to enter details for each of the nodes. Actually, no. I have to allow the user to enter details for each of the nodes. So in the server, the user has to mention that, hey, there's going to be nodes at these addresses. And then, of course, there's going to be the nodes as well. Each of the nodes has to know that, hey, there's a server at this address and this port. And so what's going to happen is, at least workflow wise, what I have in mind is once you start the server application, you then start up the nodes, and then you have the nodes connect to the server. Or you could just like start up the node and it'll automatically try to connect to the server. Or I mean, I can provide TUI for that as well. Now, the idea is that just for the sake of making sure nothing breaks there, when you start the server, you you have to run this check to make sure. We're talking about the distributed version of the app. So when you start the server runs a check to see if the number of nodes that you have mentioned in the configuration are all currently connected. So if all of them are currently up and running, if any of them are not up and running, if any of them are not connected, then the TTS is not going to run. The app is not going to let you use the TTS. If there's any dead nodes, basically, it's not going to let you use the TTS. So what you would need to do is remove the dead node, or the dead node's entry if any of the nodes that you have specified are not running. You have to remove the dead nodes entry, and then once all the mentioned nodes are running, then you can restart the server and restart all the, well, start using it basically. Then you can start using it. I also had this thing in mind where I was gonna kind of show the working mechanism where um, anytime a message is received, it gets divided up into chunks, and those chunks are getting sent, right? The chunks get sent to each of the worker nodes, and then we receive audio files from the worker nodes. So I was going to look for a way to somehow show that in the TUI. These are just some ideas that I have. I don't want to get like too. Basically, I want to try and show the state of the program, but I don't want to get too carried away with it, because the more I try to show uh, the state of the program in real time, the heavier it's going to end up becoming. And that's not really worth it. Like sacrificing performance for being able to show something in real time, being able to show states in real time, it's, I don't know, it's not really worth it. Okay. So, dude, I'm just, holy shit, I'm so excited to be using TUI based apps because just, dude, every other day I'm learning about newer and new, well, not newer, I'm learning about them newly, but like these have been around for a while. It's just new information for me. I'm learning about more and more TUI apps out in the wild. It's crazy. Like I need to do more research on TUI apps availability for various purposes. Like just today, I when I was exploring Textual has they have this page where they show projects that currently use Textual. These are also TUI based apps, and they use Textual as their front end. And going through this list, I found a couple of interesting things. One of them is Harley Quinn or Harlequin. Uh, I don't know how that's meant to be pronounced. I'm going to say Harley Quinn. Okay. Um, I found out that this is a thing apparently, and this isn't the only one of its kind. This is a database client. In the past, when I'd looked into, actually back in the day when I was learning about databases, mainly SQL Server stuff, um, I was primarily using Microsoft's own tools for that purpose, and all of it was like GUI based. It wasn't TUI based or terminal based. All of it was heavily GUI based. So it just, this was one of those things that it never occurred to me that maybe I could check if there are editors or managers or viewers for this purpose, or clients as it mentions here for this purpose. And turns out there are. Not just this one. There are multiple other clients that let you connect to a database, or just even start up the database, and they provide you with a client to kind of interface with that database, send in queries and get results, and even display those results and stuff like that. So I was excited to learn about that. Something else that I was incredibly excited to learn about was this. This is something called Frogmouth. I'm going to show you guys the repo. Give me a second. Let me go to that. Where was it? Yeah. Holy shit. I didn't realize that this was also made by Textualize. So I believe Textual itself, the framework, is also made by Textualize. I should check what all these people have made. Cause holy shit. So I'm gonna keep Harley Quinn in mind. Um, I need to see if the word Harlequin means something. Yeah, I need to hold on. I'm curious now. Okay, Harlequin typically refers to a stock character from Italian commedia something something, known for his checkered costume and role as a witty, nimble servant. Oh, is that like a jester? No, I'm not. I don't think exactly a jester, but okay, yeah. It's not Harley Quinn. It's Harlequin. Fine. I'm gonna stick with Harlequin then. Now, uh, dude, this is kind of funny. I just realized that this is made, but this is also made by Textualize, because the textual framework is made by Textualize. I didn't check who Frogmouth was made by. But yeah, good to know. Okay, what is Frogmouth? Check this out. Frogmouth is a markdown browser for your terminal. How crazy is that? That is, dude, I'm so excited for that because okay, to a certain extent, I had kind of looked for markdown related functionality in the terminal, but I think the closest that I'd gotten, or I think my research was mainly my research was mainly within the NeoVim domain, and so I didn't think about looking outside of it. I didn't think about looking for dedicated markdown viewers. So instead, I don't remember if I have the markdown uh, the markdown plugin installed on this system that I'm currently streaming from. I have it on my other machine. I could check. Hold on. Um, I believe I have a Scratch stuff. Yeah. Okay. So NeoVim Scratch stuff. Some md01.md. So we're gonna open this up and we're gonna see what it shows. Actually, what was that plugin called? I don't even remember that. I think it was a render markdown. Yeah, yeah. Okay, there it is. Render markdown. So I believe the thing is installed and it is enabled. So if I start typing here, um, let me show you. So title, let's say title O1, um, title O2. Pay attention to the the hashtags that you're seeing. The yeah. Pay attention to the hash symbols. Okay. Um, and we are currently in insert mode. I'm going to create a list. I'm going to call this item O1, um, and then item O2, and then item O3. Watch what happens when I switch to normal mode. Look at that. Actually, let me go to the next line. Okay, there. Look at that. Look at that. I need to separate these so they don't get like nested. There you go. Look at that. Actually, they're still getting nested for some reason, but yeah, this is what I'm trying to show. I looked into doing markdown stuff because I wanted to edit markdown files within NeoVim. I didn't want to have to go into the GitHub, web UI and all that to do it. So I was looking for ways to do markdown stuff and to a certain extent be able to view the markdown stuff within NeoVim itself. And yes, you are able to view it to a certain extent. Um, what was I saying? Dude, I just remembered that I was supposed to look into a way to display images in NeoVim. There is a way, multiple ways actually, but yeah, there is a way through a plugin. In fact, there is a way that has to do with Kitty's. Kitty is the terminal that I use on both these machines actually. So um, there is a way to use Kitty's graphics protocol to display the image, which is even better. And it's one of those things. It's pretty interesting. Like you would just enter some text, and then like based on that text, the image would appear. I don't know if you're just able to pop that text into your into your regular code and have that run. I don't know if that works, but yeah, I mean, I I know that displaying text, thanks to Kitty again, I know that displaying text works in IPython, and that's what I'm planning on using for my data science stuff. Um, so yeah, I mean, we can make do with that. But yeah, okay. So uh, I was excited to find out that uh, frogmouth is a thing, and that made me realize that, dude, I need to look into a bunch of different TUI based apps for various things. Because, dude, this ecosystem is rich. Let me tell you, dude, this ecosystem is rich. It's a fairly mature and rich ecosystem. There are so many tools available for various purposes, so many TUI based tools available for various purposes. So if you have moved your entire workflow to a terminal based workflow, which is basically what I've done recently, um, then you have a ton of tools available to you in various forms. You just need to know where to look, or you need to do the right kind of research in order to find them. Frogmouth, for example, I wouldn't have found out about Frogmouth unless I had started looking um, into the textual framework, because Frogmouth is built on top of textual, and Frogmouth actually, it's a markdown browser. It displays the markdown in specific ways. It has ways to display like the titles and the lists. And actually, I can hold on. I don't know if there's an example that I can put. You know what? Wait. There is a way, but I need to think before I do this. I do have Frogmouth installed. I do have Frogmouth installed. I need to pull some data from somewhere. I don't want to pull all the data though, because I'm not sure about everything that's on that page. But I do want to pull like a certain amount of the data. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to transition to the BRB screen, and oh, I'm going to pull the data from here, just in case it pops up something that, you know, um, what was I going to do? Oh yeah, test markdown file. Shout out to this person and a couple of other people as well who have done a similar thing. They made a markdown file that you can just look at the raw version of and use it for like some kind of viewer or something, which is exactly what I'm doing, by the way. So I'm gonna copy all of this here, and you guys are gonna see it in a second once I've pasted it into the NeoVim thing. Okay, let's go lower, lower, lower. Right, we've got links, right? I'm definitely not going to be clicking on the links, but that's not really an issue. Wait, is that the end? Oh, you know what? Whatever. I'm just going to copy the entire thing. I mean, at this point, I could have just used curl. But I mean, we are here, so might as well. Let me delete all the way to the top. And oh, I need to copy that again and paste. Okay, and then we save it. All right. Um, I've pasted the markdown text. It is here. It is all of this text. Okay, now in NeoVim itself, because I have the um, the markdown, the render markdown plugin active, so it's going to show to a certain extent. This is its own version of its own way of rendering markdown. There are other ways as well, which I'm going to show you right now. We're going to quit out of the, actually, do we need to quit out of this? We can create a new window, and then we can do what was it called? Frogmouth, scratch stuff, some MD this. There it is. This is the markdown file. So you can see a title here called overview. We can, I don't know if we can view the code from within this. Actually, I think we can. Hold on. I think there was a key to be able to view the code of this file. I can't remember if it was here or somewhere else. Show table of contents for the document. Let me look into that. Well, I mean, I can show you the text right here anyways, so that's not a problem. This is the text. Actually, I should disable the renderer here. Render markdown disable. So you guys can actually see the, well, you're still seeing the thing to a certain extent, but now you can actually see more of the raw markdown being rendered, or the raw markdown being displayed and not rendered. So this is what it looks like here. This is the overview and the philosophy thing. And if I go back here, where was it? Here. So here you can see overview and you can see philosophy, and it goes on. There's more stuff. There's something like this where you can put things into, these kinds of blocks. They call them block quotes. Then you have this kind of stuff where you're able to mix in stuff into block quotes. Then it's displaying lists. It's showing different types of lists. It also shows links. I don't know if the links lead to something. Here it's also showing code, I believe. Yeah. Here it's showing code. Um, yeah. Yeah. So this is Frogmouth. Um, Now we were supposed to be looking into this. Now, we are just kind of like, what do you call it? We are essentially reading the brochure. We are trying to see all the stuff that Textualize can offer, and I love the fact that they have this kind of thing, this essentially quote unquote brochure, um, which shows stuff. It shows multiple things. It shows even this game that has been made. I don't know if it's a good idea to run the game right now because the game requires a certain, wait, can I pick a smaller thing? Maybe that'll render properly because I'm zoomed in quite a bit. And in order to render this, I have to kind of zoom out. Otherwise, the game kind of gets cut off. But the great thing is, it seems to handle even the cutoff really well. Oh, good. Okay, wait, no. I said, oh, good. This is supposed to be a 3 by 3 thing. Um, but yeah, this is a game that's been made. Hold on. Let's see if I can at least get the bottom part. Oh, that's interesting. How do I bring this here? Okay, let's try something. Um, okay, okay. So this is the game. How do I quit the game? I forgot. Oh, they have instructions down there. I can look at that. Oh, here's another great thing. So this is where the code thing comes in because in their demo that they've given, you can actually see the code for all the stuff that's being shown, and that's cool. Like all of this, dude. Imagine this. This is all TUI. We are viewing all of this through TUI. How crazy is that? That is, dude. That is, at least to me, that's insane. Let's do a new game thing to stop this. How do we stop the game? Do we just like do we just like move to projects? What if I go back to game? The game is still running there. Oh, you know what? For the sake of wait, what does S do? Oh, S screenshots it. Okay. Oh, I also like that there's that notification kind of thing. So the whole point here is to be able to show off various features of this of this framework, and that's one of the things that this does. Real quick, let me also change the theme because I really like this theme, Tokyo Night. Yeah, so that's that's one of the things that this actually that's one of the main things that this page was made for. This is the widgets page. It shows you all of the controls that you can make. Um, I don't know if it's like literally everything that the framework can do, but it's quite it shows off quite a bit of what the framework can do. It shows you simple stuff like buttons, checkboxes, radio buttons, um, data tables. This is actually really useful. Like you can display a table in here, and this is an interactive table as well. So you can okay, why am I doing this? I can just click into this. This is another thing. This TUI framework, it responds to the mouse as well. You're not limited to just keyboard. But I mean, my main aim is to be keyboard centric. But that being said, there are situations like this one, for example, where maybe you might want to click into something instead of having to do this and try to get to it. Though to be fair, it doesn't take time to get to it, but like yeah. All right. What else does it show? Inputs and masked inputs. So it this one allows you to enter just regular text. This one only allows you to enter numbers. So if you try to enter text like alphabets, it's not gonna work. Only numbers work. And then this is showing a credit card kind of thing where it's it follows like a fixed format. Oh, and this is country. I don't know what this is what this is like what's the limit here, but it does seem to complete. So if I do something like this or something like this, you can see the autocomplete like the ghost characters, and if I just hit right, then it's gonna complete the thing for me. um what we could try states, we could try oh, so it's oh wait, no, it's just countries. It's mainly countries. Okay, let's try. For some reason, Africa is not working here. Afghanistan works. Um, okay. Okay, I mean, whatever. So, next we have list views. And this, I found this interesting because this takes the concept of lists and makes it into like a somewhat interactive thing where you're able to like go through a list and select items. I don't know if you're able to like pull values from it. Like you can go into it and as they say, user navigable and selectable list. So actually, okay, if it is navigable and if it is, that's a funny word, navigable. Anyways, okay, if it is navigable uh, and it's a selectable list, means you could select something and then that value could be used, right? You don't have to make the user select an option and then press a button. You could just change internal states as the user changes these options. Then they have this very useful widget for logs and rich logs. Look at this. I love that when you come into this, as soon as you come into it, then it's showing the demo of things being logged. They have this demo of logs and they also have something of rich logs. Oh, rich logs do a lot more than just plain text. Okay, that is useful. That is useful. That is, dude, that is super useful actually. Yeah, so I'm kind of excited to use this for actually multiple purposes. I want to use this for multiple things. I want to explore this TUI library a lot more, this TUI framework a lot more. Cause dude, it is fast. It is going to be super fast. And there are tools that I made in the past where I was forced to stick to um I was forced to stick to something like Streamlit, for example, because that seemed like the simplest setup. The problem is that was also maybe not the heaviest, but a pretty damn heavy setup. It was incredibly heavy because Streamlit it has like it launches a whole server, and that server is what's hosting your entire site. How many ever web pages you have. So there's quite a bit. There's quite a bit going on there. There's a bit of a load there. Not a bit, maybe quite a bit of a load. But yeah, yeah, this is great. This is amazing. Here's an AI generated markdown document. Oh, I need to check to what extent markdown um, is markdown rendering is supported here. Because I mean, to a certain extent, yes, it is. Like you have that quote thing, the block quote. You obviously there's lists supported. I think links might also be supported, and titles are displayed in a certain way, but I don't know if their size gets changed or not. But they do get displayed in a certain way to show that they. Oh, hold on. Maybe I could hit C here and see the code of. Oh, this is going to show me the code for the entire page. Can I search through this? No. The thing is, I don't know what I'm looking for here. Okay, so there's a markdown thing. What was I looking for? Why did I open up this? Oh, yeah, to see the markdown code. List views, logos. Okay, did that say logos or logs? Logs, it said logs. And then is this markdown? This is markdown. Okay. So this is our CSS. And then we have this. If I escape from this, will I have to scroll back again? Yes, I have to scroll back again. Fuck me. Hold on. Let me. Oh, I think we are back. Okay. Right. So this is our. So it says markdown. Display markdown in your apps with. Okay. All right. This. Okay, so if you look at the golden age of action cinema, that's supposed to be a big title. And then technical innovation is supposed to be slightly smaller than that. And then there's if there's a three hashtag thing, that's supposed to be even smaller. And then there's a four hashtag, which is even smaller. And then a five one, which is even smaller. And then I think 6, either 5 or 6, it sort of becomes gray. So that serves its own purpose. That's not necessarily a title, but it serves its own purpose. I think, I don't remember, either 4, 5, or 6. One of these. Okay. But yeah, good to know that this has a markdown viewer as well. Even if it doesn't necessarily have all of the markdown features, um, at the very least it has a basic markdown viewer, which is great. So like, imagine if you want to write documentation or something, or any kind of help docs or something, you can write that in Markdown, and you'll have access to some of the basic Markdown features like titles. And actually, okay, I noticed something here. Something worth noting is that the big title, the first size title, that is centered. That is not just, it's not just given a different color. It's also centered. I think it's also bold. I can't tell exactly. I'm not sure. But it does seem a little thicker than the rest of the text. And then down you have technical innovation, which was also another title, but then that's like, to the left side, and it's got this size. I feel like they're not able to change the size, and so in order to give a distinction, they change other attributes, which that works just as well. It's not really a. Wait, hold up. So this political influence looks different from technical innovation. I want to go and see the markdown in each of these. Actually, here's something interesting. Quite a lot of the text that we have seen is written in markdown. This is something I didn't realize until just now. Quite a lot of the other text as well, like, uh, we are here in the markdown section, but quite a lot of the other text, here, a lot of this stuff is also written in markdown. Um, what was I doing? Yeah, I was looking at the code for this. Where is... Okay, we got logs, we got markdowns. Okay. So that's 2, and then the political thing is 3. So the political thing is supposed to be smaller than the other one, but like their way of displaying it is different. It So political influence appears more bold, whereas if you look at technical innovation, it appears as the regular text, but like in a different color and underlined. And I'm sure they've created their own version for the four the 4 hashtag thing as well. Okay. Anyways, we can move on from this. Then there's this drop down. They call it selects. Presents a list of options in a menu that may be expanded by the user. Okay. Then, oh, what is this? A low-res summary of time series data. For detailed graphs, see textual plot text. Okay. How do I open that up? What is in here? Okay. I need to be super careful with uh pasting stuff, dude. Holy shit. Okay. Can I just launch By the way, dude, I found out I found out that there's something called pipx. So, in order to wait, give me a second. Oh God, dude. I just realized we are 50 minutes into the stream, almost an hour into the stream, and I haven't hydrated yet. Give me a second, let me hydrate, and then I'll come back. Okay, so what was I saying? Yeah, I learned today that there's a tool called pipx, which allows you to install Python tools, or tools that are built in Python. It allows you to install those kinds of tools globally on your system without actually no, hold on. It allows you to install those tools and use them globally on your system, but it doesn't install them globally. It installs them in their own virtual environment, and it kind of takes care of how all of that mechanism is set up. So just for context, um, let's take this textual for example. In order to launch textual, or even Visi let's say I installed Visi let's say I installed Visi into, yeah, sorry. Let's say I installed the Visi data package in a virtual environment, and um, I start up Visi data. Visi data is only going to work as long as I have the environment active. So I have to cd into the directory and then activate the environment. So that you'll see, if you look to the left side, I need to be careful with the mouse. Can you guys see the mouse here? Hold on. Okay, yeah, yeah, it appears. So if you look at this, it says env on the left side. This is what I'm talking about. So this means that there's currently an environment active, and that's because I've activated the virtual environment that is within this project. That's the env folder. So virtual environments allow you to create sort of isolated isolated environments for each of your projects, so that you can install whichever packages you want and whichever version of a package you want, and you won't have to worry about, what do you call it, you won't have to worry about any conflicts. You won't have to worry about any packages overwriting another package, or anything like that. Basically, like, stuff can happen when you are not only installing packages, but you are installing multiple different versions of packages, because sometimes some projects need older versions or very specific versions of packages, due to their internal working mechanisms. Sometimes you I don't know. I can't think of good examples, but basically, to avoid conflicts, you almost never want to install you almost never want to install um, a package globally. You always want to install it within a virtual environment, and that virtual environment is connected to your project. That virtual environment is within your project directory. So that way, you have a sort of it's sort of a contained environment. Okay, now, um, where this can become a problem, it's great, it's amazing, but where this can become a problem is when you try to install a package globally, because recently, with recent Linux distributions, they've stopped allowing you to install packages globally. I think there's a flag that you can provide to still do it, but they're very heavily discouraged against it, because there's when you install packages globally, there's a chance to break something. It might override something, it might update something that shouldn't be updated, something that should be in an older version, so that other projects can continue to use it, stuff like that. There can be all sorts of complications from installing packages globally. So they don't allow you to install packages globally. Now, how do you use tools that are mainly installable through pip? So how do you use tools that are mainly installed through the Python package manager? The way to do that is, to use pipx, because what pipx does is, let me show you pipx list. Pipx maintains a separate environment for each tool that you want to try and install. So in this case, you can see package frogmouth. I installed it using so and so. I don't remember if I specified a version of Python for it to use, but I'm glad that it used the latest version. But yeah, you can see it specified frogmouth here. Frogmouth is listed here. So anytime I run frogmouth, it's going to run frogmouth using the stuff that's within that virtual environment. So it has set up a virtual environment for this package specifically, and it's going to maintain that virtual environment. And anytime I want to run this, there's a symlink that links back to some file within the virtual environment setup that then runs. So that's how I'm able to basically run frogmouth even without even activating the environment. It's because of pipx. And I'm going to be using pipx a lot more. Like, holy shit, I learned about this today, and yo, this is useful. This is super useful. In fact, even I actually saw a couple of tools recommending this. Like it was mentioned as one of the ways of installing those tools, and Frogmouth was one of them as well that had recommended installing it in that way. Harlequin was, I think Harlequin also mentioned using pipx. I don't remember. It might have because Harlequin is built on top of Textual, so it might be. Yeah, it might be. Actually, what's the connection? Why am I making that connection? I don't remember. But yeah, no, Harlequin is Python based. That's why I'm making the connection, not because of textual. Harlequin is Python based, so unless you want to, create an environment and then install Harlequin in that, and then each time activate the environment and then be able to run it, unless you want to do that, you install it using pipx. Um, Initially, when I saw pipx mentioned, I don't even know if that's how you're supposed to pronounce it. I need to look into it. But yeah, initially when I saw pipx, I thought they were using x as like a replacement for whatever number. Because like usually now when I want to install something, I don't use pip. I use pip3 because that's the more later version. So I thought when they said pip x, they were replacing whatever number with x. So they were like, use whatever pip version you want. So I kind of got confused by that. Okay. I forgot where we were. Where's the textual thing gone? I was gonna look at something, wasn't I? I don't remember, dude. Oh, this textual plot text. Yes. Okay. Um, how do I Can I actually do that? Textual plot text? Is that gonna work, or is this a separate library or something? For detailed graphs, see textual plot text. Is this a link? I don't want to click this, but I do want to look at those graphs, dude. I want to see to what extent I'm able to render graphs on this. I also want to see to what extent I'm able to display images. Like if I'm using textual and running the program in the Kitty terminal, since Kitty has its own graphics protocol, would textual be able to make use of that protocol? Or maybe would textual be able to call to iCat, for example, to display an image? I need to see if that's possible. Okay, then we have switches. That's okay, yeah, that's interesting as well. Hold on. Let's do this. I like that. I like that. How do you disable a switch? Oh, so it's either or. Functional and almost identical to a checkbox, but more displays more prominently in the UI. But I think they meant it displays more prominently in the UI. Let's get rid of this light mode because it's killing the eyes. And here's one of my favorites, Cappuccino Mocha. Um, then there's this, Dracula. And then this is another one that I like that seems to fit well here. It's called Tokyo Night. Then this Monkai, Monokai, not Monkai, Monokai. Then whatever this is, Flexoki, Cappuccino Latte, which is light mode, and Solarized Light. So we're gonna go with this. Oh, good, good. So they have tabs. They have tabs as well. Look at that, dude. A navigable list of section headers, typically used with content tabs to display additional content associated with each tab. Use the cursor keys to navigate. Okay, then there's text area, a powerful and highly configurable text area that supports syntax highlighting, numbers, soft wrapping, and more. Okay. Um, we can test out Python. Mainly what we're going to be testing out is the syntax highlighting. Oh, this is like a very basic text box. Like even the end button doesn't seem to work. Okay. Either way, I mean it's not meant to be, a whole text editor kind of thing. Okay, so let's say def some func o1 tab. Oh, let's not do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Print hello world. All right, okay, cool. Then let's take a look at Rust. Okay, Rust syntax highlighting doesn't seem to do a whole lot. Either way, I mean, whatever, it's fine. Oh, then we've got trees as well. So this might be for displaying. Um, Actually, this could be used to display a bunch of different things, right? Not just so we have metadata here. This can be used to display like directories, directory structures and stuff. But then also this kind of stuff. So, for example, maybe you could parse YAML and TOML and JSON and stuff and display it like this. That can be useful. Actually, dude, no, holy shit, that can actually be useful. Yeah, that can be super useful. Your widget here, the Textual API allows you to build custom reusable widgets and share them across projects. Custom widgets can be themed, just like the built-in widget library. Combine existing widgets to add new functionality, or use the powerful Line API for unique creations. Hell yeah, dude. Okay, okay. I mean, I'm nowhere near that stage where I would need to, create my own custom widgets, but um, once I'm past the basics, then I can look into it. But yeah, dude, I'm excited for this. I'm super excited for this. What does maximize do again? This widget may not be maximized. Which widget are we in? This one. Okay. Oh, that's what maximize does. It can maximize certain widgets. That's interesting, dude. I also like that there's this like notification thing that pops up. This can be useful as well. If there's like, active active things going on and you want to give like a quick notification that hey, so and so thing just happened, um you can pop up a quick notification. That can be helpful in a bunch of scenarios. Man, I really should have started the stream earlier because I've got a bunch of yapping that I could do on this, but like I'm unfortunately out of time because I kind of started late and I have some stuff to do, some stuff to finish off. I do want to explore textual more. I need to add this to my list. What else did I have on my list? Give me a second. Let me come back here. I wrote all of this down yesterday on stream. So we are probably not going to be doing. Okay, let's set up new possibilities, or should I say new approach? Um, so we're going to do Python plus Rust. Um, input input app Python, server Python. Also, additionally, now um, the input app can have TUI. So that's a huge win. The server can be Python, and then worker node will definitely be in Rust. Um, ONNX, or should I say only use ONNX model and runtime. So this is going to be our new approach, regardless whether I'm writing, wait, um, let's say versions, multi-threaded, and distributed. Let's add a bit of a explanation here. Uses multiple threads on the sorry, I zoned out. Okay, uses multiple threads on the machine, or on the same machine, let's say. I need to see um I need to see how multi-threading would work for the ONNX runtime if I'm using it with Python. Um, research how to use same ONNX runtime from multiple child processes. Yeah, okay. And then this is going to be use multiple, no, use server on one machine and multiple worker nodes on other machines across the network. So it was interesting. I had a conversation with Gemini yesterday, and this was, I think, shortly after the stream, where I described, both the scenarios, the multi-threaded scenario and the distributed scenario. After doing a bit of research prior to that, um, on, I'd also presented a different scenario with, like, okay, um, what if I use the PyTorch version of the model? What if I use the ONNX version of the model? And it pretty soon it became clear that using the ONNX version would be much better because ONNX applies a shitload of optimizations. And additionally, it enables multi-threading because it supports intra-op and inter-op multi-threading, so it can actually make use of multiple cores. Whereas if you're running the model by itself, if you're running just the PyTorch model within your one thread, then you're just using that one thread. You're not using multiple cores, you're not using multiple threads or anything. So Um, and then there's also the fact that there's probably, I mean, any optimization that we're going to be looking at with the PyTorch model, like the PyTorch version of the model, any optimization that we're going to get is whatever the devs might have done. I'm sure they've done optimizations while building the architecture. But yeah, any optimization that we're going to get is mainly going to be what they've done. Anything extra, we might be able to get something through Torch Compile. Actually, I should look into that. I should explore the Torch Compile thing. Before that, though, I need to actually test out the ONNX version. So far, I've only read the source code of exporting the Kokoro TTS model to ONNX. I haven't really tested any of it out. Now I feel like I'm ready to jump into the development stuff. So I kind of want to start playing around with the Kokoro TTS model, both the PyTorch version and the ONNX version. I also want to familiarize myself with exporting models to ONNX and loading and running ONNX models in both Python and in Rust. Fortunately, in both of them, like the libraries that are in place, they make it fairly easy and straightforward to do this. But I want to learn how to do it first. Um, what else? There was one more thing. Yeah, I need to check if uh I need to check how well audio comes through on RTMP over RTMP and how well it's going to be received here because the audio is going to be playing on the machine that I'm currently streaming on the machine that's currently running this tmux session. The audio is going to play there. OBS is capturing that and sending it to the RTMP server. Now, OBS will be capturing the audio and it's going to be sending it. I don't know if the RTMP server actually does something with the audio or if it just uses the video feed. I'm going to have to check. If it does use audio, I'm going to have to come up with a better way of loading the video feed on my streaming machine so that it also includes the audio feed. Um, I don't know if like loading it up through OpenCV is gonna load up the audio feed as well or not. I haven't tested that out. I could test it out like after stream or something. Yeah, I could do that. Okay, now give me a second. Okay, I'm just gonna. Okay, okay. All right. Okay. You know what? We're gonna go to this person, even though they just went to their BRB screen. We're gonna go raid this person called Pepper. Oh, let me switch out from this. Yeah, we're gonna raid this person called Pepper. Um, oh, I should stop the OBS stream before I start the raid. I should keep that in mind. I should stop the OBS stream from the Linux machine because otherwise it shows this. But yeah, okay, that's gonna be it for today. Dude, it was my fault. I started the stream late, and so I was able to stream for lesser time. Um, Tomorrow, if I am streaming, I'm definitely gonna try and stream earlier. I'm gonna try and start the stream earlier, and yeah, then we can just continue yapping. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today's stream. I hope you guys have a nice day, and I'll see you all next time. Peace. Did I click it? No, I didn't click it. My mouse, dude. Holy shit. Okay, let me switch to BRB here, and then we can go over to Pepper's stream. And